From small-town mayor of Wasilla, Alaska, to vice presidential candidate, Sarah Palin's sudden rise to national attention has been plagued with some troubling questions. Early in the McCain-Palin campaign, news sources began reporting on a disturbing policy in Wasilla. Rape victims were being charged for the kits used to collect their own forensic evidence.
Late 1999, we kept hearing rumors that some communities were charging rape victims for the cost of the rape exam. I put in a bill in the legislature, HB 270, to try and outlaw that practice. I expected when I introduced the bill in January of 2000 that we'd sort of shame them out of it. But Wasilla and vice presidential candidate Sarah Palin was then mayor of Wasilla, outed itself as the entity that was doing it. Sarah Palin fired the previous police chief, hired Fannin to be the police chief of Wasilla, and he served all through this period that we're talking about where rape victims were charged for this exam. Fannin was very clear that they thought that was a good thing, better than the taxpayers paying for it, in his opinion.
What I find interesting is that the number I saw of estimated cost was about $14,000, even with a budget of somewhere between probably $6 to $9 million at that time. If the rumors are true that she redecorated her office more than once, I can't believe that they couldn't have reallocated some of those funds for something as important as that.
What's really remarkable over the 6 months it took to pass that bill is how unrepentant the police chief of Wasilla was about this practice. He was defending it through even the bill signing, and you'd think they'd give up by then.
Whether the costs were significant or insignificant, the re-traumatization that will occur when a person has to go through that again and have to deal with anything related to that that's not moving on, that's not healing, it would still be a reminder of that experience of being sexually assaulted or raped.
I don't think that sexual assault victims should have to pay for something that law enforcement is using in their investigation. You know, if somebody's burglarized, the tools that law enforcement use is not something that homeowner has to pay for.
In an interview with her hometown paper, Palin was asked whether victims were ever charged for rape kits while she was mayor. She responded that the entire notion of making a victim of a crime pay for anything is crazy. I do not believe, nor have I ever believed, that rape victims should have to pay for an evidence-gathering test. But Palin never denied that victims were charged for the forensic exams in Wasilla during the time she was mayor.
There's no question. I was there. I saw claims coming to our board. Sexual assault victims were appealing to our committee to have their forensic exams paid for by the Violent Crimes Compensation Board.
Now, we don't have pictures of Sarah Palin taking down a rape victim's credit card number, but I just find it hard, even impossible to believe, that any police chief from New York City all the way down to Wasilla is going to have a running fight on a victims' rights issue with the entire state legislature over a 6-month period without mentioning it to the mayor.
If she was keeping that close a watch on what the previous police chief was doing, if she was keeping that close a watch on her staff that she wanted weekly reports, I find it kind of hard to believe that she didn't know.